Hello there. So today I'm going to show you how we prepare a type of bread that we do regularly. I call it my 7-seed bread, unless I've miscounted it, maybe 6. Basically, we use no wheat at all. We use no yeast at all for this, so it's completely gluten-free. We do use oats, and we use oats as a kind of binding agent. Also, oats are great, full of vitamins and minerals. So what we do first is we actually grind the oats into a powder, and we have some that we've already prepared here. So Annette will just pop it into the bowl. So we've got a bowl ready to make the mixture here.
So this is the ground oats, and we've used sprouted oats. They are naturally gluten-free, so no problem with that. And we can even show you which ones we use, in case you want to get them yourself. If you're in the UK, they're these Rude Health oats. There are others we've come across, but not very many yet. Very, very, very good. They taste very much like oats. And they have the consistency of oats, but maybe a little bit firmer.
So most oats that you buy in the store have already been steamed and therefore heated. So the ones that we use are basically raw oats, but activated to make sure that enables the nutrition to actually be opened up to us. Very digestible. So also what we use in this recipe is flaxseed. I use a combination of both ground or milled flaxseed or linseed, both names apply, as well as the whole seed. So here in this dish, I've just got the whole seed. I've used golden linseed for this, so I just add that to the oats, the ground oats, and then we use also a type of sprouted flaxseed, which is available. We use this Linwood's one, and it's already sprouted. Again, it means that it's been actually germinated. Again, it enables the nutrition to be activated. So that's just there in a milled form. Just pop it into the dish like that.
Presumably, can I just ask, if you couldn't find this, doing ground flaxseed would work perfectly well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just we choose to use the activated ones because I just think we prefer them, really. In terms of the actual other seeds, we use also sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are great, full of great nutrition, full of magnesium and B vitamins, and also essential fatty acids. Probably in terms of what we put in, these form the bulk of the seeds, give the bread a lot of mass, so I'll just pop that into the bowl. Pumpkin seeds, again, fantastic seed, full of zinc, and we just love them. It gives a really nice flavour to the bread, so pop that in there. Now, we also use hemp seeds. We prefer, for this recipe, we like to buy the whole hemp seeds, which basically are hemp seeds which have already been shelled. These are actually they've got a really nutty, smooth nutty texture. Great to add to salads, and they're great for this bread, so just pop that in there. Chia seeds. Chia seeds they're very small, a bit like poppy seeds. Also rich in nutrients, rich in omega-3. So these are great for binding as well because they go slightly jelly-like in a mix. So just pop those into the dish. And then finally, we also use sesame seeds. Just a small amount, just to again add a little bit of extra seed to the recipe. So put all that in there. We also use molasses. We like the blackstrap molasses, which are very rich in iron and again B vitamins. Add a little bit of sweetness to the bread as well, and a little bit of stickiness. So I generally use about half a dessert spoon. So a little bit kind of messy sometimes, but just pop that in there into the bowl, and then just add a good measure of water, like so. Kind of mix that up into kind of thick paste until it's all bound together. The seeds, and particularly the chia seed and the flax seed, do actually absorb lots of water. So you'll find that even though this might look really watery really liquidy at the start. When you leave this for a period of time, and we generally put it in the fridge for about either overnight or for a few hours, you'll find that it's when you go back to it, it's generally just a very stiff porridge-like texture. So I'll just add a bit more to that. So in the next video, we'll show you how we actually proceed once these have soaked. So this is the first stage of the bread making. So thanks very much for your attention, and we hope to see you again later.
For part 2 of this video. Well, we don't need to do 2 videos, we can do part 2 of this one.
Thank you, Annette. So, I've now taken this out of the fridge and it's ready to put into the tin. Like so. As you can see, it's quite a stiff consistency, which is ideal because we want it to bind together so it doesn't collapse when I put it into the tin. Now, once I put it in here, and there's actually quite a lot this time, so this is a lot more than I normally do, so it'll be interesting to see how this one works as well. So once I've squashed it into the tin and firmed it down so that it forms an integral whole, I'll then put it in the oven, a preheated oven, at 170 degrees centigrade, and I usually do it for about 20 minutes, and then I take it out of the oven, and I take it out of the tin, and put it on a baking tray, and then I bake it usually for about another 25 to 30 minutes, just to make sure it it heats around all of the sides and underneath, and properly cooks. So I'll just finish this off. It's a case of just really tidying it up and making it neat at this point. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't go to the end of the tin. In fact, in some ways it's better because it allows you to then get a spatula to actually put underneath the loaf when you take it and remove it from the tin. Otherwise it can be a little bit tricky to take out. Sometimes I line it with a bit of coconut oil just to give it an extra bit of smoothness to come out, but I found that it actually comes out pretty well even without that as well, as long as I don't burn it and do it too much, too high. So I think that's just about it. So just so you can see, that's what it looks like in the tin. As I say, I've left a gap there, and I'm going to put that in the oven now. So you'll be able to see later the results. Okay, thank you very much. Right, so we've now taken the bread out of the oven after the initial 20 minutes. And I've just managed to kind of ease around the sides of the tin with this, with the slice. And literally, here is the bread now going onto another baking sheet. Just ease that off gently. It's more or less intact. So what I'm going to do now is to put that in the oven for about another 30 minutes. Again, the same temperature, around 170 degrees. It's a lovely golden colour. What I've found is that doing it at the temperature I'm doing it doesn't tend to kind of like make it go any darker than that. It ends up about that colour. You don't really want it to go obviously dark or brown at the sides because that means it might be burning it. And with them being seeds and having omega-3 in them, you don't really want to do it kind of overdo it because it can spoil it basically. So there we are. That's more or less your finished loaf. So when that comes out of the oven, it's just let it cool on a baking tray, and just carve it as required. In terms of storage, we find it best to just loosely wrap it in a cloth, like a muslin cloth, or you could do it in greaseproof paper. Don't seal it in a container because you don't want it to go mouldy. So that's it. So in fact, we've got the tray here. This is
just for cooling it later.
What we used. So again, thank you very much, and I think we're going to enjoy this later. So thanks for your time.